Let Me Kiss Your Face, Chapter 3. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork provided by Runes on Instagram. Ella tiene un hermoso estilo de dibujo. There's a link to her artwork in the description box below. Go check her out. She's a wonderful artist and wonderful to interact with. If you haven't already, you can check out the other 2 chapters of this fanfiction by finding links to them in the description box. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you want bonus points in terms of supporting your content creator, you can leave a comment in the comment section. If you don't know what to comment, put Adrian likes Marinette. Now then, please enjoy Chapter 3 of Let Me Kiss Your Face. Adrian aggressed as Cat Noir. Adrian had trouble wrapping his head around his recent revelation. He liked Marinette. But he loved Ladybug. It wasn't as though his feelings for Marinette were some lesser form of what he had going on for Ladybug, however. They were different, and not in a two sides of the same coin kind of way. Ever since the kisses in the street, he couldn't pinpoint what was going on in his heart. Should he kiss her again to get a better perspective? Or would that be considered lust? And what of Ladybug? Should he kiss her to test what it means? Or was this just hormones? Well, no. He couldn't kiss Ladybug without her permission. He couldn't do that to her. Urgh. These thought circles had him stuck in a goofy loop. Sitting up, Adrian decided a meal would make himself feel better. Some gyros or Mexican tacos would hit the spot. As long as he's out, he may as well swing by Leon's cheese store and pick up some camembert for Plag. It wasn't until he was in the middle of ordering that the thought of picking something up for Marinette as well crossed his mind. They were dating, after all, even if it was nearly quasi-blackmail. Ordering a meal's worth of food for her as well, Adrian paid, waited, then left with his order, turning to his mask to get him to the Dupang Chang bakery the easy way. Except, well, instead of greeting her in some cutesy, cliché shoujo manga style way, he found himself staring at himself through the window. Marinette was kissing a cardboard cutout of Adrian aggressed. Huh. So, she must not like Cat Noir after all. Yeah, she must have used him for practice. Well, that stinks. Feeling defeated, Cat Noir slunked back to his bedroom with his tail between his legs, foregoing the cheese store despite knowing what Plag would be like post-detransformation. He nearly made it all the way before realizing he wouldn't be able to get away with eating this much food in the household without the cleaning staff commenting on the to-go boxes to his father, leaving him eating alone on the roof of a building just shy of the bakery's sightline. If someone tried to paint him in the moment, they wouldn't need to try hard to capture his glum mood, even if it were sunny instead of a clouded sky hanging overhead. Marinette didn't like him. In fact, she used him. Despite his earlier reservations, he'd been excited at the idea of being something other than friends with Marinette. Did a date stand you up or something? Cat looked up, mid-bite and eyebrows raised as Ladybug landed next to him and gave his bag of food a shake. LB! He couldn't think of a proper response. You must be pouting if you can't think of some cheesy pickup line to greet me with. He flicked her a wry smile. You know me too well, my lady. I heard you got kissed on the street. Yep. How do you feel about that? Cat reached in the bag and drew out a box, offering his choice for Marinette to his partner instead. How do you feel about it? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ladybug took the box, not looking at him. What do you mean? How do I feel about it? He chuckled to himself. Don't worry about it. I'm teasing. Ladybug took a moment to respond. Quitting so soon? Come again? Normally you'd ride flirtations past the point of beating a dead horse. He felt laughter inside him, but could only muster a smile on the outside. Call me emotionally constipated. Ew. She bumped shoulders with him, a gentle reminder of how deep their relationship was as partners. Hey, he began, knowing her answer but deciding to be direct. Can I kiss you? Ladybug's face matched her mask as she inhaled sharply, recoiling slightly in response to him leaning closer. That's a bad idea. Because we're partners? Yeah. Because we're... Surely she didn't mean to be batting her eyes right now, right? Because we're partners. Wouldn't that make for an even better kiss? Years of tension leading up to a grandiose moment. It wasn't the distance, or lack thereof, that made Kat's heart pound in his ears, pulsing like a war cry to kiss her and win the internal battle he'd fought for not just the last few days, but also the last couple years. Oh, no. It was the silence. It was the ragged breath Ladybug took as her eyes traced his face, trailing from his eyes to his lips, then up his jawline before moving back to his eyes. He wanted to kiss her. He yearned to kiss her. But this wasn't it. This wasn't consent. Cat Noir flicked his eyes away, knowing she would regret it later if she succumbed to the moment. He shouldn't have asked. It wasn't worth risking their partnership. Cat. He brushed off her rasp, knowing he wouldn't be able to help himself if he saw her face again. Sorry. He turned his attention back to his half-finished meal. Cat. Ladybug tried again, placing a hand on his shoulder. I shouldn't have asked. Cat! Her tug was stronger than his core anticipated, and it whipped him to face her. Sugar and cookies! Let me kiss your face! He was more surprised than anything, in an incredulous position as her lips pressed to his, but instead of returning the kiss he'd dreamed of, Cat felt a smile growing on his face as he took both of her shoulders into his hands. It wasn't a happy smile, however. It was a polite refusal, joined by him pushing her up and away from his body. All he could think about was the kiss with Marinette, despite the similarities, and knew what it meant. Well, Ladybug said, her eyes locked with his. That answers that. Huh? That answers that? What did she mean? Before he could ask, Ladybug stood up and took off, leaving his heart more confused than before, despite thinking he had clarity only a few moments earlier. Well, here he was, kissed and growing ever more flustered as he processed the last minute's events. Wait! He called out, knowing a simple plea wouldn't stop her. Don't forget your food! Surprisingly, Ladybug stopped on the rooftop, turned around, and came back, placing a peck on his cheek as she reached over him for the bag of food she started eating out of. And yet, as before, he couldn't utter a question before she took off, leaving him to the company of his thoughts. Camembert. How on earth was Cat Noir supposed to know what to do next? Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 4 is on the way. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications. And leave a comment in the comment section. Bonus points if you've liked this video. If you don't know what to comment, put Camembert. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!